The good life, full of fun, seems to be the idea.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another exciting day in my kitchen. What are we gonna make? Great question. You probably already know because you're looking at the YouTube title. All right, I keep saying cheesecake. I don't know why, but we're making carrot cake. No-no's carrot cake is what we're gonna make. Cook it Italian with Joe. Forget about it style. So this is gonna be an absolutely phenomenal, knock your socks off carrot cake recipe. So I want to share it with you. It's fun. There's a lot of ingredients. There's a lot going on, but then there really isn't because you're gonna mix it all at once. Okay. So let me go over ingredients with you, and then we're going to make a frosting, and we're going to do it Italian style. So some of the ingredients we went on the Italian side. We're going to do some mascarpone cream cheese, if you will, using that as our cream cheese frosting with a little pinch of flavor. Oh my God, it's going to be absolutely delicious. This is going to be phenomenal. So what do we got? We've got 2.5 cups of carrot. Now what I did is half of it I shredded, and the other half I grated, just to give you a heads up, okay? So I got 2.5 cups of carrot, half shredded, half grated. I've got 2.5 cups of flour. Pastry flour is best. It's a finer grind, lower protein. It's going to be a much softer, lighter cake, which will be delicious. 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Yeah, that's right, heavy whipping cream. We've got 1 teaspoon of ginger. I didn't know where to go there. I stalled for a minute. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Half of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Oh my God, if you don't love nutmeg, I don't know what's the matter with you. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're gonna get a little fun and crazy here. We're gonna do 4 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk. Yeah, that's right, 1 egg yolk. I threw it in there just for the hell of it to have some fun. 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice. 1 whole cup of white sugar. Okay, and then 1 whole cup of brown sugar, which I love brown sugar. It's essentially white sugar with molasses. Absolutely delicious. We got about 10 tablespoons unsalted butter. If you only have salted butter, don't add the salt. Just give you a heads up, okay? 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And, ladies and gentlemen, to top it off, 1 cup of chopped walnuts. Whew! Man, thank you. Thank you very much. That was a lot, wasn't it? Okay. So that being said, what I want to do is I want to teach you just a couple of little secrets here. We're going to mix all our dry ingredients first. So I've got 2 mixing bowls, so you can do 1 by hand if you want. You can mix the dry ingredients by hand if you want. But we're going to mix our dry ingredients first, and then I want to mix the wet ingredients. What ideally we want to do, just to send it right off the chart, a little trick is you want to cream your butter, you want to cream your sugar, you want to cream your eggs. So you're going to start with your egg yolks with a whip, and you're going to just get them almost to a froth. Then we're going to add some cream, and then we're going to add the butter. So we're going to cream all that together first, okay? Then the rest of the wet ingredients, then you're going to mix that and the dry ingredients, roll in the walnuts at the end. We're going to preheat the oven 350 degrees. I'm going to use 2 baking pans, cake pans. They're 8 inches, so I'm going to use 2. You can use 3 9-inch, however you want to do it, but we're going to do a 2-layer, okay? And then we're going to put that mascarpone cream cheese frosting in between on top. Oh my God, it's going to be absolutely delicious. Unbelievable. Maybe put a little crumbled walnut on top, just a pinch sprinkle with powdered sugar and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Oh! Can you taste it right now? All right, so give me a minute. I'm going to organize this real quick. We're going to get started. Talk to you guys in a minute. One ingredient I did forget to mention is Vito and Joe's extra virgin Italian olive oil. Actually, it's not an ingredient, but it is an ingredient that you need in your kitchen. So if you guys haven't gotten a bottle of that, right from Italy, the olives are from Italy, the trees are right from Puglia. It's absolutely delicious. Grab yourself a bottle. It's named after my 2 boys, Vito and Joe. You can go right on Cooking Italian with Joe website. You can get it on Amazon. I think you're making a big mistake. Actually, somebody, maybe my Uncle Luigi, hey, how you doing, may show up at your house if you don't buy a bottle. All right, so that being said, why don't we put our wet ingredients in one of these, okay, and then we're going to go from there. So I'm going to take my egg yolks, okay, and I'm going to put those, and I said egg yolks, I'm sorry, I got 4 eggs and 1 egg yolk, because we're crazy here, okay? So I'm going to start with that first, and I'm not going to cream them so they get really frothy, but I definitely want to get going on that. So I'm going to bring this over here. All right, guys, I just want to show you what that looks like. If you can zoom in, see, I just made it a little frothy. Now that's just your egg the 4 eggs with the 1 egg yolk, okay? I'm gonna bring this back over, and then we're gonna mix the butter and the sugar, because we want the butter and the sugar and the egg to almost form like a custard. You're gonna cream everything, okay? And then I'm gonna grab the sugar and the butter. Sugar and butter, okay? So I'm gonna let that go for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's really well incorporated. Then I'm gonna add the rest of our wet ingredients in there, switch the bowl out, put our dry ingredients here, mix that, mix it all together, put it in the pan, bake it 350 for about 25 minutes. Molto deleccio. Talk to you in a minute. Guys, I just wanna show you what this looks like. So this is that difference. You see how creamy that is? See how that's all creamy and dense? So that's that butter and sugar. So if you can zoom in there really quick, and you're gonna see, it's just creamy, it's almost like custardy. And that's really what you're looking to get. That's the consistency you want. That's gonna really create that magic that you normally wouldn't be able to get, okay? So now I'm gonna mix the rest of those wet ingredients in here, okay? So I'm gonna let that mix really well for about another minute, and that's gonna, again, create that nice, it's gonna be like a thin custard now. It's gonna be a thin custard. And then once that's well incorporated, I'm just gonna set that to the side, mix my dry ingredients, I'm gonna mix them both together, and we're gonna make that cake batter, all right? Tune right back with you guys. So I got my 2 cups of flour, all right, my nutmeg. Oh, if that doesn't bring into Italy in my, that reminds me of my Aunt Ann actually, used to be a great baker. My 1 teaspoon, half teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, my salt, my baking powder, 2 teaspoons, my baking soda, 1 teaspoon. Those are leavening agents, if you guys are familiar with that. So, and then I always like to just give it a quick fork and just mix it a little bit, okay? Now I've got my wet ingredients and I got my carrot. So what I like to do is I like to take my carrot, okay, and then I'm gonna just mix that by hand in my, so I got 2.5 cups of carrot. So in my wet ingredients, right? So I'm mixing the carrot. Look at that. I don't know if you can zoom in there really quick. So you're gonna see, look at that, isn't that beautiful? So I just do a nice hand mix in there. You guys having fun yet? All right, so here we go. So now I've got these wet ingredients, right? Whatever the egg and the sugar and all that beautiful flavor. And now I'm just gonna slowly add it. And this is where you're gonna start forming that batter. And one other little strategy as this is mixing nice is we're going to want to let it set. One of the little tricks you'll see with a lot of the masters is wheat needs to hydrate. So because you got that flour in there, once you get these wet ingredients, everybody kind of rushes to put it in the oven. Don't rush to put it in the oven. Let it set for a good half hour. And as it sets, the water, the moisture will hydrate that flour. It gives you a much moister, softer, lighter flavor in the cake. So it's going to be absolutely delicious. So we're going to do that as well. So this is almost in there. There you go. And one thing a lot of people forget is the carrots have a tremendous amount of moisture in them. So when you're cooking them, they'll actually give out a lot more of that moisture. Some people think, oh geez, it seems like it's going to be a little dry. It won't be. The carrots will get a lot of moisture. Oh, that is good. So if you can zoom in there really quick. So look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, the smell of that. It's just absolutely delicious. So now, I'm just going to take those walnuts, right? And I'm just going to pop, whoop, made a little mess in there. There you go. So now I'm just going to mix those by hand. Pop that in the sink. So now I'm just mixing this, okay? Now my oven's preheated. I'm preheated. This baby's going to be awesome. So give that a good mix. So you just distribute the walnuts all the way through there. All right, so now that's mixed. Now what I did is I got 2 8-inch pans, okay, the bottoms pop out. I greased them and floured them, okay? Here we go. All right, so I've got a spoon, and I like to do it this way just so I keep as close to equal as I can, all right? So that's, you know, not the end of the world there, but, all right? So I'm gonna just equally measure these in these pans, right? And, oh, that is good. That is really good. And it smells great. You know, what's nice about this is it's going to be so tender for a few reasons. We added that cream. The other reason it's going to be tender, there you go, isn't that beautiful, is we added that extra egg yolk. You know, so the eggs a lot of times will add the moisture, and they add that silky, smooth, the fact that we creamed everything ahead of time, that adds a little extra silky texture to it. And Man, it's gonna be great. Now you got 350, you wanna put these in the middle of the oven, center in the oven as best as you can, all right? And then check them. Now we're gonna put them in there for about 20-25 minutes, but I'm telling you, check them frequently. There's no doubt about it. All right, so I got that spatula. One other thought, you know, sometimes people will YouTube me on a message and say, hey, listen, you know, my son doesn't like this, or my daughter doesn't like this. If you got a piaga in the family, like a picky person, you know what I mean? You know, what do? You make the cake, you say eat it anyway. That's what my parents used to do. They don't give you a choice, right? No, I'm just kidding. So you make it any way you want to make it, you know? You want to cut back on some of the fat. I have some people, again, they'll message me, say, hey, can I do it this way? Do whatever you want. If I've inspired you to get in the kitchen and try something and have some fun with your family, then oh, that was good. Oh, then my time here has been worth it, no doubt about it. So now I'm going to take both of these. I'm going to take both of these and put them in the oven. And that wheat, if you will, the flour's hydrated, right? It's been about 30 minutes. And then we're going to check them in about 10 minutes. Sometimes you got to rotate them. Sometimes you got to switch them. It just depends on where those hot spots are in the oven. And what we want is we want a dry fork or dry knife test. So after a few minutes, you should be able to put something in there, pull it out, and be dry. The moment you think it's just starting to pull dry, pull them out because they're still cooking. Set it. That way it doesn't over dry, all right? So I'm going to pop these in the oven. I'll talk to you guys in about 20-25 minutes. We're gonna make some mascarpone cream cheese frosting. I'm telling you, this is like the best. So instead of using cream cheese, which some Italians will get upset with me if I say that cream cheese and mascarpone cheese are very similar, but they are. Mascarpone cheese tends to be a little bit on I don't want to say bitter, but it's almost got a little bit of a bite to it, a little bit more of a cheese, if you will, flavor to it, but very creamy, very delicious, very similar consistency. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna use powdered sugar. We're gonna use some vanilla, and we're going to use a little bit of heavy cream. Okay, so what do I got going here? I've got 3 8-ounce containers of mascarpone cheese, or 24 ounces, so a pound and a half of, if you will, mascarpone or cream cheese. You could substitute cream cheese if you wanted to, but why would you? Because then it's not an Italian cream cheese recipe, but you do what you want. Okay, and then what I've got here is 2 cups of confectionery sugar. That's right, and then 1/3 cup of heavy cream, and then always a little bit of vanilla. So you can use anything you want. If you want to use an almond or a hazelnut, a lemon and orange, you could use any type of flavor in here you want. This topping, we've got 2 beautiful 8-inch pans in that oven cooking right now of delicious Nonno's cooking Italian with style carrot cake. It's absolutely delicious. I've been saying cheesecake all day. I don't know why I got it on my mind. But it's carrot cake. It's delicious. So we're making this recipe for that, all right? So I'm going to grab my bowl. You're going to need a mixer. You're going to need a whip. I'm going to pull this across, and what you want to mix before you put the cream in, you want to cream the sugar and the cheese together, okay? So I got that cheese right there. I wouldn't do that in a professional kitchen, guys, but it's my family, so who cares? No, I'm just kidding. But, okay, so I've got this going right in here, right? So I've got that beautiful, and it's so pretty, isn't it? Got that white cheese in there. Oh my God, it's just gorgeous. It's like billowy clouds, you know? All right, so I'm gonna put that in there, all right? Might have to clean that up myself. And then I'm gonna take the 2 cups of confectionery sugar, okay? And then I'm gonna mix this right in the mixer. We're gonna leave it in for a couple minutes. I'm gonna get this mixed first, then I'll add those wet ingredients, okay? But I want to, essentially, I'm trying to cream everything together. So I'm going to let this go for a couple of minutes, and I'll tune right back with you guys. Oh, we're going to add the cream, vanilla. All right, guys, look at that. Okay. Oh, is that awesome or what? That is mascarpone. So it's got a nice creamy, almost like buttercream. Hey, guys, look at that. Is that awesome or what? That is good. So creamy. Man, that's going to go right on top of our carrot cake. It's going to be absolutely delicious. You can put on a red velvet. You know, it's just got a little different flavor to it. And it just brings that Italian flair to it, rather than a traditional cream cheese. But, you know, whatever you guys want to do. Man, that's a great recipe. Have fun with it, guys. Put it on any type of cake, or you can just make a bowl of it like that. I'm going to go sit on the couch and pound that in a couple of minutes. See how I get my blood sugar pumping. You guys ready? All right, man, it's been about 28 minutes, I think, to be exact. So I just did look at that. Woo! Is that beautiful? Or is that beautiful right there? Yeah, so like I said, check them a lot because once you pull it out, it's just barely off the moisture. Pull them right out because they're still gonna cook. I like the granite top because it cools it, or a cooling rack. Let these puppies go, woo! And we're gonna let these cool. They're gonna settle down a minute. You know, at least 30 minutes. You're gonna want that, let that cool. As soon as it cools, we're gonna stack them. We're gonna frost them, stack them, hit them with a little bit of what I did is some powdered sugar and some mixed with cinnamon and some walnuts. Hit it with the top. Mwah! It's gonna be absolutely delicious. Favorite part, picture and tasting. Talk to you guys in a minute. You guys ready for this or what? All right, so I've got my, isn't that beautiful? Look at that little Italiano cake pan. Now a little trick is just take a little frosting and just pop that right on the bottom. And that's just gonna give you a place to stick. Something my grandmother always used to do. That just prevents it, God forbid, the cake is less likely to slide off, okay? So now I've got these two halves. So I've been cooling them here for about a half hour, right? So I'm gonna just take one of them, okay? There you go, right? And then the hardest part of this, you just wanna get it right in the middle. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, and it's got a few little pieces. You wanna try to clean off, see these crumbs? Only because with the white frosting, you know, you want it all to look nice, okay? Now sometimes if this is too crowned, you cut the top off. I'm not gonna do that, okay? So I'm gonna take my frosting, all right, I'm gonna put it right across it. Now the key here is you don't wanna push it too much because you'll break the top of the crust off. So if you see that happen, and just stop. Sometimes if you're rushing it a little, which we are, meaning that the cake's not really cool, okay? And you're just giving it a spin. There you go, beautiful. And just keep rolling. Oh, Italiano time. There was a great little bakery called Butternut Bakery down in New York, or Syracuse. My dad was friends with him, my grandfather was friends with him, so they used to bring all the Italian cookies and cakes and all that stuff to the restaurant for the weddings, so that's what this reminds me of. So I used to watch the guys make all the cakes. All right, so now I've got my other piece, right? So it's perfect. Now I'm gonna take my other piece here, right? And you can tell it's so dense, it's so beautiful. Same thing, I'm gonna give it a piece right there. And you know, your finish is up to you. You can dress it out and make it look beautiful. You can hit it with some frosting and just let it run across. So however you want to do it. I'm going to give it a nice little spin. My grandmother many times would fork the cake and then she'd brush it or dump booze on it, which is really common in Italy, you know, certain type of alcohol flavor. So we're going to put some on the top here. Whoop, I'm splattering the damn frosting so fresh, it's flying all over the place. Right? So we're going to hit it, give it a nice little finish. Oh! Beautiful or what? Where's I need Frank Sinatra playing in the background on this. Actually, I think he's playing right now. So, oh. So you know, depending on how you want to finish it off, you can let it just kind of ooze over the side, give it a little ruffian look. You know, however you want to do it. Right? If there's any mistakes that you got in the cake, you can hide it with the frosting. It does beautiful things. We didn't have any mistakes in our cake. This is like Michelangelo, you know, you make it perfect, right? There's our David, our Sistine Chapel, there you go, all right? So I'm gonna let this cool a little bit. All right, guys, so I let this cool just for a bit, and then I'm just, you know, just to finish it off with some, I like the nuts. Some people like raisins. I'm not a big raisin guy in my carrot cake, but that's me, you know what I mean? If you like it, you know, my grandmother didn't do it because she knew I didn't like it, so hit it with some walnuts. Hey, how you doing? Nocelli, hey. Finito, huh? Does that look awesome or what? Hey guys, how you doing? One of my favorite parts I just had, I took some pictures of it. Second favorite part, we're gonna eat it. So this thing looks just absolutely awesome. Hey guys, you ready? Oh! Does that smell great or what? All right, here we go. Whoa! I was hoping that was gonna fall. I'm gonna tell you, you can smell the cinnamon, the sugar, the egg, the carrot. Oh my God, I'm not kidding you, my mouth is watering so bad right now. Cup of coffee right now with this? I mean, am I home run or what? Oh my God, that's good. And the carrot, the nutmeg, the cinnamon, the cheese. And the density of it, you know, it just starts to get thick, but not too thick. It's crumbly. Man, that's good. Holy mackerel. Guys, I'm telling you right now, that by far is the best Italian nono carrot cake you will ever have in your entire life. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee right now. Thanks so much for allowing me to share my recipe with you, my heritage, my traditions. Set some of your own traditions, set some of your own heritage. Spend some time with your family in the kitchen. Until next week, guys, mwah, bon appetit, though.
A good life, full of fun, seems to be.